Relate to me, if you can, the spectrum of time and the role that identity plays in shaping who we are.
Yeah, so identity, it's very powerful to have your identity rooted in your future self, the person you want to be, and getting better and better at not overly, like there's a lot of wiggle room when it comes to future self. What Daniel Gilbert talks about is that people falsely assume that who they are in the present is who they're going to be in the future. So this is the idea of letting the present determine and shape the future rather than letting a future, and maybe even a seemingly impossible future, call it a 10x future, letting that future determine who you are in the present. Two totally different approaches to life, two totally different approaches to time. So from my view and Viktor Frankl's view, the future is the most powerful anchor for who you are in the present. In my mind, the present, think about it, all of us, like the present is very flexible. Like the present circumstances, the economy, my mood, there's so many things in the present that you don't want to base your reality on your present, even your present self. That would be a fixed mindset. But also your present circumstances, which are very variable. Instead, the future self that you want to be, that's a far more powerful anchor for what you can be and what you can do. And so from an identity piece, certainly you don't want the identity of your past self. And I argue you don't even want the identity of your present self. Instead, it's your future self, the person you want to be. It's kind of like the idea of first be, then do, then have, right? And so getting really connected to your future self and who that person is and who they are, and then letting that be the deciding factor in who you are today and what you want to do. And when it comes to your past self, you don't need to, I'm loudly saying don't identify as your past self. You're not your past self. You certainly can, and I invite everyone to have a positive view of their past self. Even my dad, as an example, my dad was a drug addict. I can have a positive view even of my dad's past self. He's no longer a drug addict, but I can have empathy and compassion for my father for where he was at. And I don't have to frame him as a villain. I don't have to frame my own past self and eating 9 months worth of donuts as a villain. I can say that I am not my past self. They're amazing. Here are the ways my current self is different. Here's my future self and the person I want to be. And I'm going to let that future self to determine the choices I make here and now. And even in the present, looking at my life and recognizing a lot of my present life is actually more a reflection of my past self, not that future self. And that the future self is actually what shines the light on that. So I can actually make the decisions here and now, which things go and which things I go deep on.